What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy, the network. And today's topic is subsection 3.2b, EUI 64. This is a subsection under section 3.2, identify IPv6, addressing and subnetting. This is a topic in the CCNP ROUTE Exam, exam code 300-101, version 2.0. Let's look at the exam blueprint, see where we came from and where we are headed. All right, this is the exam blueprint, implementing Cisco IP routing, exam code 300-101. We just wrapped up Unicast, section 3.2a. Today we are doing EUI 64, which is section 3.2b. Next video, we're going to be doing 3.2c, ND, RS, and RA. I believe that's neighbor discovery, router solicitation, and router advertisement, I believe it is. I don't know, I ain't really looking over yet, but those are the next topics. Today, we're doing EUI 64. So, EUI 64 is a method to kind of auto-configure an IP address out of your MAC address. So it's kind of like Frankensteining an IP address by taking the IP address of the interface, or I'm sorry, the MAC address of the interface, combining it with the prefix, and then you come up with an IP address for IPv6. Now, they call it EUI 64 because, remember, a MAC address is 48 bytes, but it's something you do to kind of turn this into 64. That turns it into the host ID for this interface to create. You tack that onto the prefix, and you create a whole IPv6 address. Let's head over to take a look at the official definition. EUI 64 stands for Extended Unique Identifier. Remember, MAC addresses are unique. There's no two MAC addresses in this world that are the same unless you spoof it. It's a method that we can use to automatically configure an IPv6 host address. There's other ways, but this is one way you can do it by taking the MAC address and, like I said, Frankensteining it with the prefix, and then you create a whole IPv6 address. An IPv6 device will use the MAC address of its interface. Remember, every interface got a MAC address to generate a unique 64-bit interface ID. Now, the way they do that is, shout out to Network Lessons for these graphics. This right here on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ABCD. That is a hexadecimal MAC address, right? Simple, 48 bytes right there. We take that, chop it in half, and we put that in we put this in the middle right here. We'll show you in the next slide to get a little deeper into it. Let's not forget, you can screenshot this, freeze frame it, whatever. Don't forget the hexadecimal chart. This is something you need to remember too. 1 through 9 is the same as hexadecimal, right? It's A through F that's different. A through F is the same as 10 through 15. So remember, when you go past 9, A through F is 10 through 15. A is 10, B is 11, so on and so forth. There's several steps to calculate an EUI 64 address. Shout out to Kevin Wallace for these steps. It's 5 steps. He said 6 steps, but it's one I thought if you've been kind of knowing this stuff or studying this stuff for a while, you know you don't really need to convert the format to a colon delimiter. You know MAC addresses can be written in several ways, so that's something you don't even, I skipped that step. As you can see, I put a strike through right there. Step 1 is to split the MAC address in the middle, like I showed you right here. Split it in the middle. Step 2 is to put FE in the middle. I don't know why they did that. I'll explain that in a little bit. It's not because they like the Nicki Minaj and Tekashi 6ix9ine song. Step 4 is to change the format to a colon delimiter. I'm skipping that because we should know that, you know, MAC addresses are written different ways. We just put double colons for IPv6 addresses. You convert the first 8 bits to binary. We'll show you that. You flip the 7th bit from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, and then you convert these first 8 bits back into hex. That gives you the MAC, the EUI 64 address. So we're going to take this scenario. Router 1 has a MAC address of 015, 2BE, 4, 9B60 on this FA00 interface. The objective is to calculate the corresponding EUI 64 address based on this MAC address. I got this problem from Kevin Wallace. Again, shout out to him for his website. If you want to practice more of these now, before I forget, subnettingpractice.com. You go to subnettingpractice.com. You can practice some more of these, how to compress IPv6 addresses, which ones are valid or not, so on and so forth. That's a great way to practice. Step 1, we take the MAC address, we split it down the middle, right? We chopped it in half. That's all we did. Now, step 2, we put in FE in the middle. Now, why they chose that number was because the IEEE, remember that organization that does Ethernet and stuff, it's a reserved value to reflect the fact that a given address is in the modified EUI 64 format. So MAC addresses are 48 bytes, right? Now, we plug this in to turn this into a 64-byte address. We tack that on to a prefix to give us the 128-bit IPv6 address. So we take the FFFE. Again, I know it's a song by Nicki Minaj and whatchamacallit, but this is just a hexadecimal number we put in the middle of the MAC address. Step 3, we convert the first 8 bits to binary. Y'all remember how to do that, right? 0 is 0. If not, if you don't remember, here go a quick chart. Freeze frame it. All right, we back. Again, we convert the first 8 bits. So the first 8 bits is these 2 zeros right here. So we convert the first 8 bits right here to binary. We take the double 0, right? Because this is 0. This is 0 in binary, right? Then we take the 7th bit, which is this guy from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we change that number. If it's a 1, then we change it to 0. If it's a 0, we change that to 1. So in this case, this is a 0. So we take that 7th bit, turn it into a 1, right? What does that give you in binary, if you remember? Pause right here and think about it. All right, we back. So the first zeros, right? That's still 0, right? This one, if you remember, in binary, it's 1, 2, right? 4, 8, right? So what does this number give us? This is a 2, so that's just a 2. As you can see, we convert that into hex 0, 2, right? This stayed the same as 15 because we only converted those to binary. So 0, 2, 15, 2B, FF, FEE, 4, 9B, 60. That gives us the final EUI 64 address. And here go one more problem for y'all. You want to practice this one. Router 1 has a MAC address of 0200 1234 5678 on its FA00 interface. Take that number, convert it to EUI 64. Go ahead and pause it right here. Do the math and come right back. I hope you paused it. This actually, I believe, should be a quad 0, if I'm not mistaken. This should be a quad 0, so that's a mistake, I believe. I'm gonna double check my work. Leave a comment below if I'm wrong, but this should be a quad 0, 12FF, FE34, 5678. Again, you can go to subnettingpractice.com, go to the IPv6 section, and practice some more of these if you want. I wasn't gonna put a whole bunch of them on the slide. I want to keep them short and simple. So that's the end of our slides. Again, if you want to practice some more, go to subnettingpractice.com. Go to the IPv6 section and you get some more. From now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.